Chaos happened in Ferguson last year. A chaos that the Midwest, this city, had never seen before in its life.
The incident with Michael Brown happened August of 2014, where an unarmed Black teenager was shot.
When he was shot, and we heard reports about it, it was just, something that we figured would be another routine autopsy. Then, as the reports came in, we began to realize that this was more than just your typical ordinary shooting by your typical ordinary cop.
That incident caused a national movement across the country. And I won't say just that incident, but incidents like Michael Brown and others around the country have definitely strengthened what a lot of people feel is a new civil rights movement of our time right now.
Right after Ferguson, all of us, and particularly theater artists, felt an immense need to do something and to respond in some way. But there was a lot of tension right after, particularly for those of us from St. Louis, about what the correct response would be and how to at once be citizens, but also be artists, and how to respond in that. And theater takes time, and theater takes people coming together and collaboration. And a year after the event, it's a lot easier to bring people together and to respond in a really honest way.
Do you remember when you taught me to fly? Take my hand.
The Every 28 Hour Play Festival was a collaboration of many different theater companies, including Oregon Shakespeare Festival and the 1 Minute Play Festival, to bring artists from all over the country to St. Louis to work with the St. Louis community to create 1 minute plays about Black Lives Matter and Ferguson and all the issues that are intermingled in that conversation.
To walk into Every 28 Hours, the night that all the actors came, and to see different theaters, people, represented from different theaters, different races, like all these people in this one space. Everybody's just giving their time and their love and their energy. And to me, that was the most powerful thing I've witnessed since living in St. Louis.
We will win. We will matter. Even if we stand alone, we will win.
So it brought unity, it brought revelation. A lot of my students, a lot of people were like, well, I never thought about this issue in this light. And now I feel responsible to do something in my community, or I feel responsible to create art that speaks to this even further, like what do we do now? And I think Every 28 was a great starting point. Now what's next? And that's what me and the producing team, we're trying to figure out, what do we do with this? This is a great start, but don't leave it here.
I think it's important to do the festival or any type of organized demonstration to make it where it is maintained in the public consciousness, to where everyone has some kind of information and they can form their own opinions.
One of the unique things about community-engaged projects like this, projects that are meant to be created within a particular community, is that it's not just about the audience, that it's about the audience and those people participating. We performed at the Delwood Rec Center with people who were performing on stage who had been in the protest and who had walked the streets and who had been out there and who had tasted the gas and felt the pepper spray. And performing for them and giving them a chance to perform is super important. And that is a huge part of why these kind of projects happen.
Rest in peace, baby girl. Your grandma loved you. All 7 years we shared.
That's what we wanted the audience to get out of it, was an awareness that these are St. Louis and artists at large from all over the country who are coming together to perform and to talk about this issue, and that as a St. Louis audience, people are listening and people are talking, and there is a lot to be said right now.
The goal was to talk about the statistic of every 28 hours and to hear different voices from every side of that. There were monologues about, from like police officers' perspective. There was monologues about, mothers, black mothers who have lost their sons. There were monologues about, being black in America. There are white people that want to be allies or don't know what to do or don't know how to help or, so we wanted to get everybody's voice in this project to look at all sides and then leave people to walk away and process all of that information in their own way. I just want to make it clear that the goal was to hear everybody and have everyone listen to everybody and be an agent of change once you leave that space.
We are hereby on indefinite strike. Try talking it out for a while instead. Signed, the Bullets.
We're clearly not over them. They're not done. They're not finished. The issues are not played out yet. But a year later, we can talk about them in a way that was really hard to right after. A year later, it's much easier for the St. Louis community to have a theatrical representation of the conversation that we've been having for a year and will be having for many years to come. And giving ourselves that space, I think was important for me and was important for a lot of other artists as a way to process what we were feeling and then respond in kind.
I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. So I just wanted to as an artist to give my input. But I didn't expect that I would feel what I'm feeling right now. And I'm just feeling a great sadness.
So I wanted the audience to have a sense of community and feeling like they were a part of something and feeling like their community was on stage talking about this very important issue.
It's midnight. Happy 2009, dude. Do you think the world's better now? It is. We still make them remember, though.
I heard people put teddy bears on the street after they killed them, so...
Yeah.
I think one statement I would say for anybody is what's next, and that's the same thing that I'm saying to myself every day. We get numb and we don't figure out what we can do where we are, and it's little things that we can do to kind of sew back into the world to illuminate some of the things that are going on and move things forward. And it might be small, but it's still important and crucial.
Samuel DuBose, Eric Harris, Frank Shepard, Ortega Howard, Darius Stewart, Savannah Ellswood, Victor LaRosa, Jeremy Lett, Anthony Hill, Spencer McCain, Tony Robinson, Christian Taylor, Aaron